Hello, welcome to Do Not Talk live. And I'm Charlie Simons, talking about the two things you're never supposed to talk about: religion and politics, but also talking about how we make our way through what's coming. This is an election year. Things are about to happen, stuff that we've probably never even seen in our lifetime. We got a very desperate party trying to cling to power. We've got there's a whole lot of things coming, including financial possible hardships. A lot of us are feeling it now already with the shrinkflation. While the White House is saying, "Oh no, there's no inflation." Really? Well, that box of cereal that used to be this big for this price, maybe the price is still the same, but it's now about this big. That's called shrinkflation, where the manufacturers they don't want to try and they don't want to raise the price too much because we'll stop buying. So they instead cut their costs by making their packages smaller and smaller. So how do we get through this? How do we swim through the waters that are coming? That's where my friend Sharina Latch comes in. And Sharina, hello, my friend.
Hi, Charlie.
Great to see you again.
It's good to see you
You
too.
you've been working with another friend of mine, Eric Eisenhammer,
Yes.
and you're building a way to help people get through and to be prepared financially, and maybe even instead of being thinking, "Oh, I'm going underwater, what do I do?" Actually being able to possibly thrive financially. That's
Right.
why you're here on the show on Do Not Talk. And let's bring Eric Eisenhammer into the picture. What's up, bub?
How's it going, Charlie?
Fantastic, thanks. Who's your friend?
So this is Charles Triana, a good friend of mine and a work colleague, investment advisor, licensed insurance broker. I'm a licensed insurance broker as well, and we've been working together and having a lot of fun and helping people, along with Sharina. Sharina, we appreciate you as
Thank you.
well. Thank you for all you do, and thank you, Charlie, for all you do.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. So, what is it that you all are doing? And you have something coming up that the people can join you and actually find out more about a possible financial throwing us a life raft.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed income event where we're going to talk about how people can protect themselves, grow their assets, accumulate wealth. But let me just back up for a minute and talk about why somebody might want to do that. Charlie, you're a guy that follows current events. I think we all try to, and you look at the events in the world and you look at the volatility. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. It's a very turbulent world. We've got a war going on in the Middle East that just started. That has implications for energy prices. It's got implications for the global economy. There's been a conflict in Eastern Europe going on for over 600 days now, and the growth rates in Western Europe and in the U.S. have all been below expectations. So you have to expect volatility. It's kind of like the only thing that stays the same is everything changes. That's a country lyric from somewhere. But you can protect yourself from that. I also want to point out that the banking systems are uncertain. That there were a few high-profile banking collapses this last year, but there's a couple hundred more. There was a study that said a couple hundred more may be on the verge of collapsing. So these are just things to keep in mind. You want to be smart and you want to plan your portfolio in such a way that whatever happens, good or bad, that you're growing your money. That you're secure. That you don't have to worry. I mean, that's really what we're talking about. It's just peace of mind. It's being able to sleep at night and knowing that you're gonna be good. Whatever goes on in the world, there are things we can do for you so that you can know that your retirement, your benefits, so you're going to be secure.
Charles, where do you come into the mix on this?
Yeah, to piggy up off of what Eric was mentioning is really positioning yourself with no matter what happens, being okay. Diversifying a portfolio, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, fixed rates, and you know, the unknown. So really having an understanding on a person-to-person basis, what their financial goals are, and a lot of people we work with, that are able to afford a loss, don't want to, or may not be able to afford a loss, and those are a lot of the conversations that we have. Is positioning people with their hard-earned money that they've accumulated throughout their life, protecting that, and being in a position to keep up with, as you mentioned, inflation, which being an advisor is difficult without adding volatility in a portfolio. But some of the topics that we're able to talk about is keeping up with inflation without taking little to absolutely no risk.
There's, for example, an annuity that my mom is in, and it pays a guaranteed 4% regardless of what happens in the market. And she has clung to that because she's scared to death to get into the stock market. But there are other ways and other avenues to explore. And Sharina, you're recently a part of this and have learned about the ins and outs of all of this. What do you know about it?
So what I know about it is, there are different types of financial products that you can definitely look into and see how you can protect yourself and your family. There are great ways to accumulate savings, to grow your assets, to boost returns. That wouldn't that be great? If we could retire with financial security, right? So, many are not prepared for retirement. And what's surprising is that it actually can be affordable. You have to look into these products, and that's where Eric, someone with, he has a financial bachelor's degree, and he can definitely help guide people in this direction. Charles has been doing insurance, and he's been a financial advisor for, between the two of them combined for 20 years. So, I mean, these guys are great and they're very knowledgeable. And if people want to know, this, some of these secrets, I call them secrets out there, they really, really need to come to this event. And we want to help people. We want to get that information out there. We want to give them give them the resources that they need. So, I mean, they need to just come here, come to Madu. Excuse me, Madu. I call it Madu Community Center on January 18th. And, come find out the ways that we can help you.
That's 10 days from now, January 18th,
Right.
My Due Center. That's in Roseville. And what is it that y'all are doing?
I just want to share. Sharina mentioned retirement and retiring well. The vast majority of Americans, unfortunately, are not prepared for retirement. And, and unfortunately, Charlie, as you know well, our government isn't necessarily going to be in a position to pay Social Security benefits. I hope they are, but I think people need to plan that possibly they won't be. But there are ways that you can you can be secure and you can have a nest egg waiting for you, and they're surprisingly affordable, surprisingly easy for a family to fit in their budget. But it's something important for you to do for you. It's something important for you to do so that when you're 70, that you don't have to be a greeter at a big box store, and you don't have to be there. There's an amazing power that comes with compounding money. So when you start putting just a little bit aside, you can have a nest egg. One thing I want to do is just a dream of mine, and if I do it, I'd love to invite all of you to come with me. But I want to have a villa in Cyprus in the Mediterranean, and they're not that expensive actually. So if I can just have a nest egg of 500 grand or more, I can totally do that, and we could all all have a good time in Cyprus. So you can do that too. It's not that hard. And I also I just want to mention one other thing with that. The one thing very cool about the way you can manage that is you also can be your own bank. So there's a way to, maybe you want to pay for your own education. We just met with a client that went back to college and got an MBA in her 50s. So maybe you decide you want to get an extra degree. Well, rather than borrowing from a bank, you can borrow from yourself, and we can show you how to do that.
That is fantastic. Now, somebody like me who's I no longer have a future, I have more of a history. I'm of that age where I'm thinking retirement. Um,
With long life, he will satisfy you and show you his salvation.
I love it. Somebody like me, what can we do? I mean, how much is this going to cost me to actually maybe see some return and have some confidence that despite what goes on over this next year, I'm going to be protected other than a bank. What do you recommend? What would you tell somebody like me?
So, looking at on a person to person basis, that's really where it does take time to really be able to put together, a plan on a person to person basis. But first and foremost is really carving out that portion in a portfolio that you want to make sure that there's guarantees. And, that's what's a little bit different with what we're doing, is giving more of a guaranteed. And traditionally, over the last 10 years, with the performance that we have been providing for the clients that we've been working with, is between the 6 to 12% rate, with absolutely eliminating downside market volatility. So what we're doing is giving the upside of the stock market and completely eliminating the down portion. Um, and then you ask, a lot of people might be skeptical and ask, how are you able to do that? How are you able to give guarantees on the upside and not the downside? And that's where we dive in a little bit deeper with how these programs work. And some of them are insurance based financial programs that people 10, 20, 30 years ago were, let's say, familiarized with, like CDs at a bank per se. And you would give a percentage, or you would give an amount to become mature in a certain amount of time, and there was no liquidity. You would forfeit the upside portion of that CD per se, and that's traditional banking. So it's really finding a way to kind of pick out the pieces that have worked and what hasn't worked, and putting that together in a program where even the top portfolio managers will tell you that even with the stock market going up and down over a 20-year trend, it's very hard to outproduce an index. And having an understanding of how some of the best performing indexes can be linked to protecting and diversifying what you're invested in, whether it's in the country, outside the country, the Nasdaq, S&P 500, Nasdaq, the next 100 companies. You've heard of Google, and you've heard of Tesla, that is now coming from a mid cap to a large cap company. So really, picking out and understanding what's coming forward.
And hey, I want to mention the types of programs that we're talking about are not new. So they are increasingly popular. They're becoming more popular than ever. But even baseball legend Babe Ruth used a guaranteed income plan in order to, as you might imagine, if you're a baseball player or a child actor or something, sometimes they make a lot of money early in their life, but they need to make sure that that money continues to accumulate so they can continue to live well in their senior years. And that's exactly what Babe Ruth did. But now people are looking at the uncertainty in the world and in the markets, and they're saying like, hey, like, we don't really feel comfortable like just putting our money in the market right now. But we still want to grow our wealth, and that's what we're going to share at the event. We hope you can come to.
Yep. And what are the details again, Sharina, of that event coming up January 18th?
At Madu Community Center, meeting room 1. So 1515 Madu Drive in Roseville. And yeah, come down and meet these guys. I mean, you people know who Eric Eisenhammer is. It's time to get to know who Charles is. And let's see how they can help you. Get out there, man. Do it.
Do we need to? What's the event going to be like? What can we expect when we come in there? Is it going to be
it's going to be held in the conference room, and you're just come in, and these gentlemen are going to be sitting there, and these very good-looking gentlemen will be sitting there, and definitely talking to everyone in the room, and helping you, answering questions, anything that you might have. I mean, that's what they're there for, and that's what we're here for, because we're
the
here
fun
for
thing as well. There's going to be a lot of people in the neighborhood as well, and obviously,
Right.
Also people that may not be from Roseville, but there will be a lot of people from Roseville there, and we will be having a little fun. What exactly is the little raffle?
It's going to be a drawing for $100.
And there's going to be a drawing too. Yes.
Amazon.
Thanks for the reminder. There's going to be a drawing there too.
We hope that you can make it, and you'll get entered, and at the very least, you're going to leave more informed. You'll probably make some friends.
Right.
We'll have some good refreshments, and you might win the gift card, but honestly, we take advantage of what we're going to talk about. You're going to be a lot further ahead than just with the gift card, but
Right.
we are offering that as just a little incentive to help get you there.
And the abundance of knowledge is definitely what you're going to benefit from. So.
And Eric from him being on my channels and on my show, and he's a trustworthy fellow.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing at a time right now that a lot of us don't know who to trust. For heaven's sake, I don't even trust my own. I don't even do banks. I do credit unions, but even still, how safe is that? We got to start exploring other ways. And as a conservative myself, I know that there's a lot of big banks and a lot of big institutions who are absolutely happy taking my money and saying they're going to invest it, but they do not have the values that I have. And they're going to invest in ways and so on and so forth, whatever it takes to make some money. But they're not, as a conservative and as a Christian, it is important to me that I'm not going to give my money to something that's going to be completely against what I believe in.
Well, and Charlie, maybe even just as bad or worse, they a lot of them might not have the funds to fulfill their obligations. So the risk of runs on the banks is really very real.
I hope that you make it to this event, January 18th, Maidu Community Center. Now, where's that again, Sharina?
That's going to be in wonderful Roseville, 1515 Maidu Drive. So be there. Starts at 6 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you all. So have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some salsa dancing and
maybe
after. That's a wonderful event.
Snacks for everybody.
We put on wonderful events. Everybody knows that.
This is a family event too, I'm quite sure. Right. So if you you got kids, don't worry about getting babysitters. Bring them with you.
Right.
Yeah, start them off young. I mean, my dad brainwashed me with Susie Orman when I was a kid. So, it's good. Like we need more young people.
And it starts at 6 p.m. January 18th. Where do we go to get more information or to contact you in advance?
We have a Facebook event, so that's probably the best place to look it up. Go to Legacy Defender Insurance Solutions on Facebook and look under the events. You can RSVP there. We've got the flyer. Please please do that, because it is first come, first serve basis. So please let us know that you'll be there. We'll also make sure to have a guaranteed income guide for you, which is a resource that, if you don't remember all the information that's shared that day, in fact, we probably can't even share all the information there is to share just in a quick event. But we're going to give you a guide. It's going to be a resource that will be for you as a free gift. And so let us know. Let us know so we can make sure your seat is available. Let us know so we can make sure your guide is there for you, and spread the word. Go and invite your friends to this event. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to have them as well.
And something
And
else also to remember, you guys, there are times people say, oh, I don't have money to invest, or, maybe, this isn't the right timing for me to, hear this information. This meeting really is for everyone. No one is ever judged by how much money they have or don't have. It's just the will to want to gain some information that will leave you better off just knowing.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's really just a matter of, just believe in yourself,
Mhm.
like believe in yourself that you can be financially independent, and that you can, like, break free from the matrix, and that, you're not, you're not consigned. Too many people become like just content with where they are, and maybe it's not exactly where they want to be. But just first step is just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And what is that page again on Facebook?
Legacy Defender Insurance Solutions.
Legacy Defender Insurance Solutions.
That's right.
All
We
right.
got solutions for you.
We
Thank
do.
you so
Calm down.
much, all of you. Thank you for being a part of the show and getting this information out. All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
you.
Thanks, Sharina.
Absolutely.
We
Thank
Absolutely.
you,
appreciate
Charles.
you.
Thanks for being here. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure. I am Charlie Simons. Do Not Talk. Find us at do-not-talk.com. You want to buy yourself a shirt? That'd be nice. You'd be helping us out tremendously, helping us stay on the air. The shirts that says God, Family, Country on the back and on the front. On the left chest is this logo. Do Not Talk. Get yourself a mug while you're there too, would you? Thank you so much for joining us. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, may America bless God.